The world is loud, but the real chaos is not outside, it is within. Thoughts race, emotions clash, fears whisper, desires scream. This is the storm that steals your peace. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the absence of distraction. To find peace, you must learn to listen, not to the world, but to yourself. Be still, observe without judgment, feel without resistance. The mind is a restless sea, but in stillness, the waves settle. Truth rises, clarity emerges. Everything you seek, strength, wisdom, understanding, exists in the quiet space within. The key is to embrace that space, to let go of the constant search for something outside of you. When you stop searching, the answers appear. The mind is a tool, but too often, it becomes the master. It spins endlessly, feeding you distractions, pushing you into confusion. Yet the real power is in detachment. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the awareness that watches them pass by. What you see in the world is a reflection of the noise inside you. If you seek peace, you must first find it within. The external world will never give you the calm you seek if you have not cultivated it inside. To embrace silence is to embrace the truth of who you are. In the quiet, there is no need for approval, no need to prove anything. You simply exist, and in that existence, you are whole. The path to peace is not a journey outward. It is an inward transformation. Stop looking for fulfillment in the noise. Silence does not require effort. It is already present. You just have to stop filling the space with distractions. When the mind is quiet, the soul speaks. You begin to hear the wisdom that has always been there, waiting for you to listen. The noise falls away, and all that remains is the clarity of truth. This is where peace lives. The greatest illusion is the belief that peace can be found outside of you. You chase after things, money, fame, relationships, hoping they will bring the stillness you crave. But they never do. True peace comes from releasing the need for external validation and returning to your own essence. To live in silence is to allow yourself to be. No agenda, no rush, no expectations, just being. When you are present, fully alive in the moment, the world loses its grip on you. You no longer feel its constant pressure. You are free. Let go of the stories you tell yourself. They are the noise that keeps you from your true self. Stop identifying with your past, your failures, or your successes. These are just moments, fleeting and transient. You are the awareness that observes them. Realize that the present moment is all there is. The future is a story yet to unfold. The past is a memory that no longer exists. Only now is real. And in this now, you find peace. The mind will resist this stillness. It is accustomed to the noise. It craves distraction. But the longer you sit in silence, the more you will realize that the mind is a servant, not a master. It is meant to work for you, not against you. Silence is not a void. It is the space where your true self resides. It is where your power is. When you stop fighting the noise, you stop giving it power over you. Most people live their lives chasing after things they think will bring them peace. But true peace cannot be earned. It is not something you can acquire through external means. It is already within you, waiting for you to stop and listen. When you embrace silence, you begin to understand that peace is not something you need to find. It is something you need to remember. You were born with it. It has always been a part of you. Stop looking for peace in the world. It is not there. It is within you. Always. You just need to stop the noise long enough to hear it. Embrace the silence. In it, you will find your truth. In it, you will find your peace. Your thoughts are not who you are. They are fleeting shadows passing through the mind. You are the observer, the stillness in which those thoughts arise and fall. You are the space between the thoughts, where peace resides. The noise of the world is endless, but it is not real. It is only real when you identify with it. The constant stream of news, opinions, expectations, and distractions only holds power over you when you engage with it. You have the choice to withdraw your attention and rest in the silence. The practice of silence is the practice of returning to your center. It is the act of remembering your true nature. The distractions that pull at you, whether they are the demands of society, the opinions of others, or the fears within you, are temporary. They are not your essence. Your essence is timeless, unchanging, and pure. Peace is not a destination. It is a state of being. It is the natural state of the soul when the mind is quiet and the heart is open. This peace does not require anything from you. It simply is. You are not incomplete. You are not lacking. The truth is, you are whole. Everything you need to experience peace is already within you. It does not come from external sources. It is awakened from within. To embrace silence is to embrace yourself fully without judgment or expectation. You stop running away from who you are and begin to see yourself as you truly are. Whole, complete, and peaceful. When you sit in silence, you create the space for self-acceptance. You stop fighting yourself, stop resisting who you are, and start embracing the truth of your being. In that acceptance, peace arises. Peace is not something that comes from outside of you. It is the natural state of your being, waiting for you to remember it. When you stop the noise, when you stop identifying with the distractions, you uncover the stillness that has always been there. The secret to inner peace is simple. Be present. Let go of the need to chase, to control, to force. In the present moment, there is nothing to do and nothing to be. Just be. In that beingness, peace is found. Embrace the silence. Trust in it. It is the space where all answers come, where all healing happens, and where all truth is revealed. In the silence, there is no fear. There is no doubt. There is only peace. The more you practice silence, the more you will find yourself returning to it, because you will recognize that it is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. In silence, you remember your true nature. You realize that everything you've been searching for has always been within you. The world will continue to make noise. It will continue to demand your attention. But when you learn to return to the silence, to the stillness within, the world will lose its grip on you. It will no longer have the power to steal your peace. In the silence, you find everything you need. It is the stillness where you remember that you are already whole, already peaceful. You are the peace you seek. In silence, you are liberated. The world outside may churn with noise, but within, there is peace. You do not need to seek it. You simply need to return to it. It is always present, waiting to embrace you. The noise of the world fades into the background when you choose to listen to the quiet within. This is not a one-time practice. The mind will try to pull you back into the noise, into the chaos. It is its nature. But with every return to silence, with every moment of stillness you cultivate, the hold the noise has over you weakens. Each breath in silence strengthens your connection to the peace that resides deep within you. The more you embrace silence, the more you realize that it is not an escape. It is an opening into the depths of your soul, where you connect with your true self. It is the place where all truths reside, untainted by the judgments and labels of the outside world. In silence, you begin to understand that there is no separation between you and the universe. The mind often creates barriers between you and others, between you and your desires, between you and your potential. But in the quiet space of being, there are no barriers. There is only unity, connection, and wholeness. The constant need to do falls away. You realize that you don't have to do anything to be at peace. In the silence, you simply are. And in that beingness, you are enough. You are whole. You are complete. When the noise within you settles, the world around you becomes clearer. You begin to see with eyes unclouded by judgment or fear. The people you encounter, the situations you face, the challenges you meet, they no longer hold the same power over you. You see them as they are, without distortion. You are no longer affected by the external world because you have found your center within. This shift does not happen overnight. The noise inside you, your thoughts, your fears, your desires, may seem overpowering at first. But with patience, with dedication, You begin to quiet the storm. You begin to recognize the space between your thoughts, the stillness that exists, even in the busiest of moments. And as you practice this, you become more aware of the peace that always exists within you. You are not the noise. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the one who observes them, the stillness that witnesses the movement of the mind. When you realize this, you become free. Free from the grip of your thoughts, free from the noise that tries to drown out your inner peace. The truth is that peace is not something you need to seek. It is not something that can be obtained through external means. It is already within you, always has been. You just have to stop looking for it in the noise of the world. When you stop searching, you find that it has been there all along, quietly, waiting for you to notice. There is power in silence. The mind often associates power with action, with doing. But true power comes from being. It is in the stillness that you tap into your most authentic power. In silence, you can hear the whispers of your soul, the guidance that has always been there waiting for you to listen. In that silence, you also find your strength. It is not the strength of force or resistance, but the strength of surrender. When you stop resisting the present moment, when you stop fighting against what is, you find an inner strength that is unshakable. It is the strength that comes from accepting yourself exactly as you are. The noise of the world will always try to pull you away from your center. But when you have tasted the peace of silence, you will never forget it. And each time you return to it, it becomes easier to find. You no longer need to search for it because you know that it is always available to you. You have only to be still enough to hear it. Silence is not a void. It is the most profound form of connection. It is where you meet yourself in your truest form, without the distractions and the judgments. In silence, you are not defined by the roles you play, the labels you wear, or the stories you tell yourself. You are simply you, whole and complete. True peace comes not from what you do, but from who you are. It comes from knowing that you do not need to prove anything, that you do not need to chase after anything. It comes from the understanding that you are already enough. And in that realization, peace floods your being. The noise will continue. Life will continue to present challenges, to demand your attention. But in silence, you find the power to respond, not react. You find the strength to meet each moment with calm, with clarity, with peace. The more you embrace silence, the more you realize that peace is not something that can be disrupted. It is not dependent on external conditions. It is a state of being, one that is always available to you. It is the foundation of your existence, the stillness that supports all movement. As you continue to embrace silence, you begin to understand that it is not about escape. It is about coming home. It is about returning to your true self, shedding the layers of distraction and noise that have built up over time. In silence, you return to your essence, and in that return, you find peace. And when you find that peace, you realize that it is not something to be kept for yourself. It is something to be shared. Because peace is contagious. When you embody peace, it radiates outwards, touching everyone and everything around you. The more you embrace the silence, the more you become a beacon of peace in a noisy world. You no longer need to search for peace. You have found it. And in that finding, you become peace. You become the stillness in which the world can rest. The world may continue its noise, but you, in your silence, stand as a testament to the truth that peace is not found in the noise. It is found in the quiet spaces, the moments of stillness, and the connection to your true self. Peace is not something to be sought. It is something to be remembered. And once you remember it, once you embrace the silence, you will never again lose it. It will always be within you, waiting to be awakened. So sit, be still, embrace the silence, and in that silence, discover the peace that has always been yours.